NATO, if it has any meaning, has to defend the Baltic states as much as it defends Portugal or Spain. And the Baltic states, because of where they are on the map, are very close to large Russian troop concentrations on land. And when NATO admitted countries from Estonia to Bulgaria, it essentially made a fateful choice that it was going to defend them. And defending them means having troops in Europe or rotational troops or pre-positioning equipment. Many would say that when President Obama withdrew two combat brigades from Europe in 2012, that was like the equivalent of when President Bush declared mission accomplished in Iraq. It was premature, in other words, because I cannot disassociate Russian actions after that from the withdrawal of combat brigades. Don't be fooled by people who say, oh, but we're rotating troops. Rotating troops are different. They're not acclimated. They're often not there. It takes a long time to get settled. It's not nearly a replacement for having troops permanently on the continent. So the United States is freighted with responsibilities of defending the Baltic states and others because NATO is less likely to do it unless it's brought kicking and screaming along by the United States. At the same time, the United States needs to explore every diplomatic option to have a reasonable civil relationship with Russia, because Russia does have legitimate security interests. It's an insecure land power that has been invaded over the centuries from the West, so it's going to have interests in Central Eastern Europe. And so it's a matter of finding a balance. On the other hand, I'll just, my final answer to that question is that when probing operations are not answered, they lead to something worse. In other words, the most provocative thing you can do is show weakness. Because if you show weakness, that only leads to more probing. And more probing is how wars begin, big wars,